That's it for sports. You're welcome back to the show. Now, President John Mahama has this afternoon sworn in Daniel Domelovo as the new Auditor General. His appointment actually took effect on from December 23, 2016. As the swearing-in ceremony, President Mahama urged him to uphold the values of professionalism in the exercise of his duties. President Mahama made this appointment in consultation with the Council of State in accordance with Article 70 of the 1992 Constitution. Let's hear from the President now.
In accordance with Article 70B of the Constitution, I have appointed you as the Auditor General of Ghana. The audit service exists to ensure good governance, and so it's therefore your responsibility, together with your team, to deliver this to Ghanaians through the pursuit and application of the highest levels of professionalism, accountability, probity, and transparency in the public financial management systems of Ghana. We have been working on the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan. The National Anti-Corruption Action Plan has three key principles: prevention, education, prosecution. Prevention and education are put first because it's believed that best practice is to prevent corruption from taking place. And so in discharging your job, your emphasis is not on punishing, but on trying to prevent, creating the system that prevents misappropriation of public funds from taking place in the first place. Of course, when it has happened, it is important for us to sanction whoever have undertaken that. And so I hope that you will work with government to ensure that we're able to bring probity and accountability into our public services, especially, and ensure that we minimize the misuse of government funds and property. The audit service is also mandated by the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana to monitor the use and management of all public funds and report to the people of Ghana through Parliament and other fora of public interest and engagement. I wish to encourage you to collaborate with all the relevant stakeholders to ensure the successful delivery of this mandate. Given your rich professional experience, and I know you've worked with the Accountant General's Department for so many years, and you're very highly qualified, it took quite a search to eventually discover you. And I believe that you have all that it takes to be able to discharge your new function with excellence. And so I want to congratulate you and to assure you that government would work with you, cooperate with you, so that you can discharge your constitutional mandate in the interest of the people of Ghana. Congratulations once again.
Well, that is President John Mahama there, but Mr. Domelovo, who has accepted the appointment, has also been speaking. He's promising to work in the interest of the state.
I, Daniel Yao Domelovo,
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will at all times
that at all times
well and truly serve the Republic of Ghana
well and truly serve the Republic of Ghana
in the office of,
the Auditor General,
and that I will uphold,
and that I will uphold,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana
and defend the Constitution of the
as my law established.
as my law established.
So help me God.
So help me God.
To any person,
Communicate or reveal to any person
any matter which shall be brought under my consideration,
any matter that will be brought under my consideration,
or shall come to my knowledge,
or that shall come to my knowledge
in the discharge of my official duties,
in the discharge of my office and duties,
except as may be required
except as may be required
for the discharge of my official duties,
for the discharge of my official duties,
or as may be specially permitted by law.
or as may be specially permitted by law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I would like to start by thanking God for granting me this opportunity to serve my country. I would like to say that I've been humbled by this appointment, which I accept wholeheartedly, and I want to assure my fellow Ghanaians that I will discharge the duties and the responsibilities attached to this office to the best of my ability, without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. On that note, thank you very much, Your Excellency.
That is Mr. Dumavlo and President John Dramani Mahama there. I've got on the telephone lines now Franklin Kujo is president of Imani Ghana as a policy think tank. Franklin, are you there?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Good to have you. How are you doing?
I could be better, thank you. I hope your holidays are going well.
Not bad at all. Let's talk about Mr. Dumavlo's appointment. I believe that your organization, perhaps one of the organizations that do not think that the last minute, what has come to be known as the last minute appointments are okay. Here's another one, institution. Your reaction?
Well, first of all, questions we keep asking, so whether the legal, and I think that the questions about a lame duck president making appointments may either be sensible or not. The fact of the matter, though, is that we need to look at the merits of those who have been appointed.
Right.
In this specific case, as I understand, the gentleman stands above board. I hear he's a very competent gentleman. I do not know him personally, but I've heard a lot said about him that he's a serious person. And my thinking is that because some of us have clamored for some seriousness to that office, it appears to me that on the surface of it, the fact that this person is said by many people to be a serious, no-nonsense person, we should be grateful for small mercies, I think.
Okay. So as far as you're concerned, this is okay. Is it this particular appointment that is okay? Or is it, you know what I mean? Are we talking about the person, or is it you don't have a problem with the timing?
Well, I think,
as long as the person is okay.
I think both are really, if you look at the reasons some people gave, and I think I'm in the minority of that, why some of the appointments were made to a particular entity like Strike, there were a series of issues. I mean, the timing, the fact that that entity had been around for several months, if not years, without the head, and the president who is just leaving office and seems to have appointed someone from within who doesn't, as I hear, pedigree isn't that close to this gentleman who has been appointed as Auditor General, then we have a lot of questions to raise. But that's besides the legal issues, really. I think that legally, yes, the president is entitled. I think he can do everything he's done within the limits of the law. It's just the case that in the case of the Shrag especially, an institution that has been bastardized, we all thought that the person was not even one with gravitas. And then the fact that it's been there without her leader for quite a long time.
But that person in the you're talking about Joseph Whittal has been a deputy commissioner for a very long time. So he's been in the system and understands the system, wouldn't you say?
Well, he's been deputizing for God knows when. But the number of things that ought to have been acted upon, he failed. I don't think we had anything stellar in his capacity as a deputy. Don't forget, as deputy, he was the substantial person in charge because the previous head had been found to be rather untoward in her behavior. So for me, this gentleman, well, I mean, from the grapevine, the things I've heard is that he's a no-nonsense person. All we need in this country is an Auditor General to be able to enforce the rules. That's all. And the rules are clear. And he has all the powers to do the work he has to do.
Okay.
If we got a gentleman in the name of Mr. Dumavlo?
Mr. Dumavlo.
Domelevo. That's an interesting name, by the way. It's an Ewe name. You know what it means?
Tell me.
Domelevo means that, of course, let me translate it crudely. It means
Okay.
The stomach is a side. It means that
The stomach is a side?
Yes, by his persona, if we have to metaphorically explain, what it means is that he's not someone who would look to his stomach in order to make decisions.
I see.
In fact, there's an every proverb that says, "Adukonu domelevo." Adukonu domelevo means that, well, as you are smiling, if your teeth showing, what is within you is also different. But domelevo on its own, in this case, and given the fact that it's going into a position that requires a lot of tact and seriousness and independence, I don't think you would look to his stomach.
Right. Well, interesting point there. But before I let you go, a very quick question that I'd like for you to address for me is that the spokesperson for the transition team on the side of the incoming government, Kojo Nkrumah, has said that they have the right, they reserve the right to review these appointments. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, you see, this whole issue has to borders on trust. Under normal circumstances, there is nothing wrong making an appointment at all. In fact, the president is still president until midnight of January 6th. Don't forget, President Obama is making all manner of appointments. Some of them, he's taking all kinds of decisions some of us have problems with. But it's within the law.
Okay.
So there are reasons why I think my good friend Kojo Nkrumah and the transition team on their side would suggest that they have the right to review them. I think the issues of trust rate. I don't think there's anything wrong legally in that. And they also reserve the right to eat it.
All right. I'll say a very big thank you to you, Franklin, and I hope that you enjoy the new year as we go into it in a few hours, I must say. Franklin Cudjoe is president of Imani Ghana, a policy think tank, and he brings us to the end of the show.